Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here, and today I'm going to be doing my first Q&A since I hit 50,000 subscribers almost 2 years ago. So I'm really excited to get to do that. Since Sun and Moon are about to come out, I decided to make my Q&A Sun and Moon theme, so asking me Pokemon Sun and Moon related questions, simply because it's very relevant, and that's what I wanted to do. So, I had people tweet at me with the hashtag #MandJTV Sun Moon, so if you tweeted a question at me, you're probably going to see it in this video, because I'm just going to be scrolling through the questions and answering the ones that catch my eye and stuff like that, so I'll show them on screen in a second. But real quick before I start that, I know this week has been kind of ridiculous and crazy with the whole election stuff. We might see some questions on here that people asked me that have to do with the election, even though it is a Sun and Moon themed Q&A. If I see those, I will not be answering them. Politics is something that I will never discuss on this channel. I do not think it is, this is not the place for it, because politics is very, very divisive, and I want this channel to be a place where everybody who loves Pokemon, regardless of their political views, can come and enjoy Pokemon together. So, I please ask that you refrain from any political discussions in the comments below. If I do see them, I'll probably delete them. But now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's dive into these questions. So, I have not looked at these a whole lot. I'm just going to be scrolling through the list of all tweets with the hashtag #MandJTV Sun Moon. And when I see, I won't be answering all of them because that would take forever. I'm probably going to be doing this for about 15 to 20 minutes. Kind of depends. I have my little audio recorder right here with the current time. So that is what I'm going to start doing. So, what's your current team for the game? Answered that earlier this week. You should watch that video if you have not. What's your team going to look like? How fabulous is Alolan Dugtrio? Excessively. To be honest, I think Alolan Dugtrio is very dumb. I'm sorry if you think it's fabulous. I think that's one of the dumbest ideas I've ever seen. Just giving Dugtrio hair. I think it's really stupid. 3 to 5 Pokemon that you want to have in Alolan form. I actually did a video on this, top 5 possible Alola forms, which you should watch there, so I'm not going to spoil that list. So to answer that question, watch that video. Sun and Moon, thoughts on Sun and Moon so far? I think they are going to be fantastic games. I think they're adding a lot of really cool things. I think they're changing stuff that's going to be interesting, so I'm really excited for them. I can't wait to play the games very, very soon. My favorite Alolan form Pokemon is gotta be Alolan Ninetales. I think it's really pretty. I think it's a really cool change. The ice type, I think it's really awesome. Alolan Ninetales, easily my favorite. Definitely want to have it on my team. I want to know your opinion on Turtonator and Salandit. I think they're very cool. I also think they're pretty cool. I like Salandit more than Turtonator. I think Turtonator's face is kind of unsettling. But I like Salandit a lot. Definitely having a Salandit on my team. But I also think Turtonator is cool. It's nice to have another Fire Dragon type Pokemon. If you could choose one Pokemon to be a Pokeride Pokemon, what would it be and how would it be used? Oh, I think that's a cool question. I definitely really like the riding Pokemon feature because, you know, if you watched my demo Let's Plays, riding Tauros at extreme speed is way fun. I'm really going to enjoy getting to do that. But if I had to pick any Pokemon, I'd probably pick one. I really liked the flying in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so assuming the because what it seems like to me is the riding Pokemon is replacing HM, so we know that you can ride on Charizard, but part of me suspects that it's like you summon the Charizard, and that's just how you fly from town to town. If I could pick any Pokemon, I'd probably pick maybe Flygon, and allow you to do like a fly over the region thing like we could in Oris with Mega Latios or Latias. I thought that was an amazing feature. I'd like to see it come back, but I don't think it's going to. So probably Flygon, just because I've had so many imaginations of flying around on it, and I think it's awesome. What are your thoughts and opinions on Mimikyu's rap video and Mimikyu in general? The rap video, I'm assuming, the one that came out on the official Japanese Pokemon channel. I think Mimikyu's fine. At first I was like, that's stupid looking, but then it kind of grew on me. Not my favorite, but I think it's a cool concept. The rap video I thought it was kind of silly. Wasn't super into it. What do I think about the new layout during battle? I think it's cool. It's going to take some getting used to not having it like the fight in the center and then the 4 attacks, because we've been having that since I was in 6th grade. So yeah, I think it's cool. I think it makes sense because, you know, they have the spot for either the Mega Evolution or the Z move on the side. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And I really like how it shows like the effectiveness and like how the stats have been boosted. I think that's very, very useful because many mistakes have been made in competitive just because somebody didn't remember a stat boost or drop, which is silly. Any other specific trainers, leaders, champions you'd like to see, you'd like to battle against / see in the battle tree? I definitely think the champions from every game should be there. I would like to see the rivals from every game. I think that's less likely because they're more gender, like, a lot of them are like, you know, in Ruby and Sapphire, the rival was the gender character that you did not choose. So I think that's less likely. One thing I'd love to see that I think is very unlikely is the protagonists from other games, but because they're not, like, they don't have as nailed down of a lore as Red and Blue do, I don't think that's likely. But definitely the protagonists, maybe Professor Oak. That's a long shot, but I'd love to see Professor Oak in there. My favorite Island Guardian, Tapu Koko. Looks the coolest. Which non-Gen 1 Pokemon do you wish could get in Alola form, and what would it be? From the top 5 possible Alola forms, Donphan. I think Donphan's cool. I think it deserves one. This is an ad. Do you think Sun and Moon will bring back the older gamers who gave up on Pokemon at some point? I think Pokemon Go did that, and I think Pokemon Go is going to segue into more people playing Sun and Moon who had left Pokemon before. I had a friend at work this summer who hadn't played Pokemon since Crystal, and he got really into Pokemon Go, and then I told him about, you know, like all the new Pokemon and that you could get the original games on your 3DS, like the emulator, and he was super into that. So he is now way back into Pokemon, and will be getting Sun and Moon, has played the demo, played through X for the first time. So I think a lot of people will be brought back, not directly because of Sun and Moon, but because of the Pokemon Go hype, which then segues into the Sun and Moon stuff. Which Pokemon types do you think the Elite Four will specialize in? I don't think we're gonna have an Elite Four because we already know that the Pokemon Link has not been constructed. But so therefore I don't really have any ideas. I think it'd be cool to see a flying type Elite Four, or like electric, but that's all I got. If you had to choose a region to go back to in the post game, which would you choose? I would say Kalos, simply because I felt like it was underexplored. It's only been in one game ever, and while I love Hoenn, Hoenn's a lot more recent, so I would say Kalos to answer that question. Which new ability? Corrosion. I think it's super cool. That's just like a really cool ability. Being able to poison steel types and poison types is like, that's so awesome. When will Pokemon Talk interview new Pokemon from Alola? Which Alola Pokemon will be interviewed first? That's something I'm not going to spoil for you. But the next Pokemon Talk, because I always do Pokemon Talk the first weekend of every month. So the December Pokemon Talk, which comes out I think like a little bit over 2 weeks after Pokemon Sun and Moon come out, that video's already in the works, and it will have an Alola Pokemon as the guest, but I'm not telling you which one. You're just gonna have to watch the video and find out. So, do I think Sun and Moon, Gen 7, will be in your top 3 gens? By the way, I love the vids. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Marcos. Marcos Gloria. I think it has a very good chance to. Gen 3 is my favorite. Gen 6 is second, but I think Sun and Moon is bringing so many awesome new features that I think there is a pretty solid chance that it's going to be in my top 3 favorite generations. But especially just like the other games that we're going to get in this generation, like Sinnoh remakes seem likely. Yeah, I think it has a pretty good chance. Based on the ones we've seen so far, what 3 types do you think will be the best overall in Sun and Moon? It's a tough question. Fairy is still a pretty solid type, only being weak to Poison and Steel. But I feel like Fairy is going to lose its edge in competitive because every single Pokemon now has the ability to learn the Poison type Z move, because every Pokemon can learn Toxic, so I think Fairy's going to lose its edge. I feel like... this is a hard question. I feel like Fighting is going to be pretty prevalent as well, but I also feel like Normal type could be good, because Normal type, assuming it's paired, you know, provides those immunities and stab moves to some present types, so I feel like Normal is a good possibility for that as well. Do you think we got all the Pokemon from the demo, or do you think there will be more? I don't think he's referring to the data mine leaks. I do not think there will be more. I am hoping there are more, but I am not optimistic in that regard. Are you going to transfer any Pokemon from Yellow over to Sun and Moon? I do plan to. I don't plan to use them in the playthrough because I've already used them in a playthrough, but I'll probably transfer them over just because it's a cool team. Think there's a possibility for Ash to be on the battle tree? Unlikely. I think there's a possibility, but I think it's unlikely because this is very much a game universe thing. How do you think the Ultra Beast started? I think there's from some other dimension. That portal thing just looks like a dimensional portal type thing. So that's what I think. They're really weird. Do I think that the Aether Foundation is actually the evil team? I feel like Skull is just more like the mini bad guys. They're just like an annoyance, but I think Aether has some questionable motives. So, kind of. Green Air Owl or Owliver Queen? I think Green Air Owl is a cooler name, but I also like that Owliver Queen works as well. Let's see. How many hours are you going to play a day to contain the excitement? I played Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire for 9 hours straight when it first came out, so probably something like that. If you watch the anime, what's your opinion on the new anime, and what starter do you think Ash will pick? It seems like they're really making it a lot more silly and like more like a comedy than anything else, so I hope it'll be funny, but my hopes aren't that high. The starter, I think in one of the episode titles it already says that Poplio's in the title, but I don't know. I think Ash might actually get all 3. That is what I think is the most likely, but if he's not going to get all of them, I think Rowlet is a big contender because Decidueye just fits his style of starter. The fast ones. I know that like Sun and Moon Link there were base stats, so I don't know what the stats of everybody are, but like Decidueye just looks fast. Okay. Will I try to complete the Alolan Pokedex? Probably at some point, especially if it gives you some cool perks. According to you, which Sun and Moon Pokemon looks the most overpowered? It's a good question. If we're ignoring the legendaries, because they're obviously going to have the most power, I think the one that's going to be the most used is Oranguru, especially in double battles. I discussed this in a past trailer analysis, but just like its abilities and like the move Instruct just seemed like it could help it be like absolutely devastating. Oh, hey, similar question. Let's see. Which of the new Pokemon do you dislike the most? I really don't like Alolan Dugtrio. I really think it's really dumb. I think Bruxus is also really ugly. I'm having trouble thinking of the other ones right now, but those are the first 2 that stuck out in my head. Do I think this is the end of the series? Do you think it will be a reboot? No. No, I do not. Pokemon is the most hyped it's been in a long time. There's no way they're going to reboot it, like, at the biggest success it's had since the early 2000s. There are more and more duplicate questions as I scroll further up, because I wanted to go down to the people who asked the questions first. What's your biggest hope for these games? That they'll have a lot of fun post-game content. Because the story is really awesome, but games are really great if they make you want to keep playing after you've beat the story. If you could make a Pokemon for Sun and Moon, what would it be based on? A dolphin. That's something we have needed a Pokemon version of for a long time, and have not gotten it. Let's see. Who's your favorite trial captain? We only know 5, right? I can't remember their names, but I think the fire guy I cannot remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he seems fun. He seems like he'll be really entertaining. Who's your favorite Kahuna? Probably the guy we saw on top of that ship with the Pelipper. He seems badass. How long have I been going? 15 minutes? No, this is fine. What Mega Evolutions do you want to see in Sun and Moon? I doubt we're going to get them at all, but definitely Mega Flygon, Mega Luxray, Mega Tropius. Those are my top 3. What do you think the third game will be in Gen 7? For example, Pokemon Yellow was Gen 1. Pokemon Eclipse. That is, I saw some fan art of that at one point that I thought was really awesome, and therefore that is what I think it's going to be. Because I think that makes sense, you know, the sun, the moon. Maybe Pokemon Star, that's another one. Either Pokemon Star or Pokemon Eclipse. Assuming we get a third one, because we thought we were going to get we haven't gotten like a third version since Gen 4. So, I do not want to subscribe to NBA League Pass. Do not watch the NBA. Watch the NFL. I haven't watched a full NFL game this entire semester. I've been so busy. Which antagonist would you want back in the new games? Probably N. N is the most interesting one. And he's not fully an antagonist, but he's definitely one of the more interesting characters. I definitely think he's going to be in the battle tree, so that would be cool. Yep, a lot of duplicate questions. Which Alolamon do you think will be OP? That's tough. Probably... I feel like Alolan Muck has a chance to be like a defensive tank, because Poison Dark type, I'm pretty sure is only weak to ground, because I remember battling Skunk Tank in Platinum and having that be a challenge. Because, you know, Poison resists the Fairy that gets rid of the Dark. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Alolan Muck has a big potential to be good. Which legendary do you like the most out of the 2 representing the games? I like Solgaleo, whatever you call it. I think it's cool. Which new Pokemon do you think is the cutest? I think Snuffle. Snuffle is adorable. I also think Rowlet is adorable. And Minior. No, it's Minior. Actually, forget the other 2. Minior, with its shell off, hands down the cutest. No contest. Are you going to do multiple Let's Plays? Like your first play on Alolan Pokemon only? So I am doing the first Let's Play of Sun. My tentative plan, so this could change, is to do a Wonderlock of Moon after the Sun finishes. A Wonderlock is where it's the same rules as a Nuzlocke, but as soon as you catch it, you Wonder Trade the Pokemon away. So you can only do Wonderlocks with like Gen 6 onward. So I think I might want to do that because that could like cause a lot of hilarity. And assuming the experience share is nice, it wouldn't be excessively difficult. So that is something I am leaning towards doing right now, but it is not nailed down, so subject to change. Let's see. What version? Sun. I'm gonna end up with both, but Sun's gonna be my main one. What's your favorite Oratorio form? I like the red one. I think the red one looks cool. I think that's the Salsa form? I'm not sure. What's uglier, Alolan Persian or Alolan Executor? Alolan Persian. Alolan Executor isn't ugly. It's comically tall, but it's not ugly, in my opinion. Alolan Persian is just ugly. What computer program do you use to make your top 5, top 10 videos? I guess that's loosely Sun and Moon related. I use Cyberlink Power Director 14. Is it the best? No. Is it stupid sometimes? No, but it does all I need it to do, and it's not that expensive. I'm nearing the top of the list. You can't see it because I like made this screen recording slightly over the side. But I'm close to the top, so I'll probably get to the top of all the questions. Do you like Mega Evolution or Z-Moves more? Well, the prospect of Z-Moves Sun and Moon aren't out yet. That's a good question. Z-Moves are interesting. The fact that they can only be used once is like a interesting concept. I don't know. I think I like Mega Evolution more, just because Mega Evolution gave us the opportunity to see really cool new, creatures, whereas Z-Moves are just cool animations that like they happen and they're cool and then they're over. Whereas Mega Evolution is like, look at this cool Lucario with more stripes. You know what I mean? Should I not watch your Let's Play after I start? Watch to go in blind or just watch it? Also, should I get Sun or Moon? I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I think you should watch the Let's Play. I think it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited to share a brand new generation with you guys, and I like getting views too. So, also, either one, I'm getting Sun. Do you think that new players might get confused with the new forms, Megas, and Z moves? Assuming they haven't played since Gen 1, yes, but I also know that they can learn it. Do I think the game will be longer than the others? I hope so. I always hope the game's longer. Do I like Alolan Exeggutor? Yes, I do. I think it's goofy, but I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of duplicate questions. I think I'm almost done, actually. Okay, let's see. Will I do a gameplay on Sun or Moon? Yes, I will. Which past Pokemon League champion would you like to see appear in the Sun and Moon? Lance. Because Red already has. We already know Red will. That would have been my answer, but Lance is my second answer. How'd you feel by yourself if you wake up and you look almost the same as the Alolan Exeggutor? Very shocked, and concerned, and frustrated because I wouldn't have any arms, so I don't even know how I'd call my friends. But my roommate would probably notice. So with that interesting question, I think that was a good time to end it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am going to have a awesome new top 5 that is a collab coming out on Saturday. You're watching this on Thursday, assuming nothing goes awry. So I hope you'll come back to the channel for that. Thank you guys for being awesome fans. We are so close to these wonderful, really awesome games coming out, and I am super hyped. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below some of your answers for some of the questions that I was asked. I worded that poorly. But anyways, that is all I have for now. So till next time, Pokefans, gotta catch them all!